What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and some more SPQR coverage, especially with the new edition on the horizon here. And again, we're doing a little bit more here with the bit of SPQR that was mentioned or featured in the recent War Games Illustrated. And this is following on from our review of the Slave Revolt faction. So we're taking a look at the special scenarios that they have. So the three here, and this will be a three-part video series, just like we did with all of our other previous scenario review series. So the first one is Fugitivus, then Kill Them All, and then the Bitter End. So today this video is going to focus on this Fugitivus scenario. So let's take a look at the description here, guys. War bands of ex-slaves were worse than mere outlaws. They were a symbol of freedom that could prove dangerous to any still in servitude. Strenuous efforts would therefore be made by any competent commander of the region to bring them to heel, bringing all available resources to bear. So when searching, soldiers scoured the countryside. It would often prove beneficial for the slaves to hide rather than fight openly. So let's take a look at the war bands here. So the enemy player is the attacker in the scenario, and when we look at the map, right, the attacker has a much smaller deployment area. Slaves occupy nearly a third of the table here. I think it is actually a third. And then the Slave Revolt player is the defender, of course. The attacking player has twice as much drachma for his warband as the Slave Revolt player in this battle, so already kind of an uphill battle in that sense. If he does not have enough models in his warband, mercenaries may be used as normal. Then on the setup side, the Slave Revolt player deploys all of his models. The attacking player then deploys one of his units, and the attacking player gets the first phase. So some things to note here. So anytime you have to deploy first, in this case the Slave Revolt player, right, it always gives the opponent all kinds of information as to exactly what you got and where you're putting it. With the attacker basically having twice the size of the army, though, or twice the amount of points available, so that is already going to be a good advantage there. The seeming disadvantage here of deploying one unit for now, is going to be a little bit rough, but as you bring more to bear here, and just in general, qualitatively, most of the units you're bringing should be better than the Slave Revolt ones one-on-one, except for maybe like a unit of gladiators or something like that. But let's take a look at the special rules, because this isn't just a simple like kill them all mission. So the attacking warband has found the escaped slaves and is now trying desperately to bring all its fighting men to converge on the quarry before they escape. So at the start of every turn, the attacking player must roll a dice for every unit that is not on the table. If the dice rolls less than the current turn number, he may move that unit onto the table from his table edge. So not just the initial deployment box there. If the dice rolls exactly the current turn number, he may move that unit onto the table from any table edge, which it could be pretty scary there, especially for the slaves. So basically the impetus is going to be for the slaves to get moving and to accomplish what they need to do in order to achieve victory here. So speaking of which, victory conditions for this. So if the Slave Revolt player manages to move at least half of his units rounded down off the attacker's table edge, again that far table edge, he will claim victory. If the attacking player stops this from happening, then he will claim victory. So basically, as you start bringing more and more units on, hopefully, getting lucky and maybe rolling the exact turn number, you can start sort of herding the slaves, or corralling them a little bit, forcing them into specific directions. And really, they don't, in most cases, want to engage with you. They're trying to get off the table edge. But if you can get there and engage with the slave forces, hopefully you can win a few battles. If they start pushing you back, it's going to be harder for you, just if you're not rolling correctly and getting more of your units on the table. So some will certainly slip by you, but you're just going to have to focus on the ones that you think you can catch. And here, having some slightly larger units on the attacker side will be beneficial, just to be able to spread out a little bit more and try and at least initiate some sort of contact here and there, to basically catch the slave units as they're running away. So the fact that the slave units by and large, or slave forces by and large, will have a lack of access to like horns and stuff like that for the once per game extra movement, or I should say once per game extra, not activation, but action that they get to take, basically, that will be a little bit rough. So if you're the attacker here and you have certainly access to like lots of cavalry, or other fast movers, or even just a decent amount of missile troops, the lack of armor on the slave side is going to start to show, and you're going to start to be able to plink off units here. And unless the slaves have won some combats, their morale is going to be pretty low to begin with. So getting them to flee and disperse is going to prevent them from essentially accomplishing what they need to accomplish for the scenario. So it's a fun one, though. It's a great challenge. Again, the Slave Revolt player is going to be facing a pretty big uphill battle. Again, they're outnumbered essentially 2-1 as far as points go. They really don't want to engage. That being said, if you do engage, you're probably best to kind of use almost like the buddy system and try to double up on keep like two or more slave units together, or at least have hero-led units that can engage enemy units and hopefully just decisively defeat them really quick, gain a bonus to morale. But again, sort of just with the general intent of moving towards the attacker's table edge to get off the table edge. So that being said, as you start moving things off the table, obviously you'll have fewer things on there to then deal with whatever units the attacker has that are still chasing you down. So it's a fun scenario that has as the turns increase and as everything goes on, there's the desperation will increase kind of on both sides here. So the attacker is definitely wanting to make those rolls to get more units on, and then the slave player is really just trying to slip by as best they can and make a break for it. So timing will also be a key there. But if you can disrupt the Slave Revolt players' timing a little bit and just force them to stay on the table longer, that just benefits you. So fun scenario overall, a great kickoff here to the series. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think if you've already played this scenario. Hopefully this this feature here in War Games Illustrated has gotten everybody kind of excited and ready to play some of the new edition. We don't really have the rules yet, but we'll definitely have coverage once we get the new book and see everything that's changed for you guys. But for now, we can certainly play this and should be pretty fun. So again, hit us up in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to throw some extra drachma behind us to support the channel, check out the link in the description. Head over to Warlord there, and if you guys pick up anything, that will also help support the channel. So thanks so much again for stopping by, guys. We'll see you in the next scenario, which will be Kill 'Em All.